Welcome to the best damn arm wrestling sports show ever in history. I am Justin Bishop, your guest. As always, Scott and Reza. Now let's get to talking about me.
Sounds good, buddy.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe not too choppy. I'm pretty good, man. A little muggy. Looks like it may rain in a few minutes, so maybe not. What's up with you guys?
Nothing much, bro. Just
Recording in progress.
training, staying busy, and maintaining, bro. Having some interviews with some athletes. I hear you got a pretty big match coming up against Janis. That's always been an exciting match to watch over the years, bro.
Yeah, I can't really explain how excited I am for this match, to be honest. It's it's been 7.5 years roughly since we pulled, so and he's kind of like my European Paul
Nemesis.
Talbot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I pulled Paul, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 times. I've been this close a couple of times, except with Janis. I actually beat him the first 2 times. Nobody says 2 times, but I say 2 times. But yeah, so I'm excited too, man, because I'm like I said, I'm in good shape. I've been training since I don't know February, somewhere in there. I took a break after I pulled Tom's and kind of reevaluated stuff what I wanted to do, if I really wanted to do it, stuff like that. So um, yeah, I mean, I've decided that I'm gonna pursue it at this weight, and because I think I got a legitimate shot at the title. So you know, it was kind of going back and forth at first about over my truck. Oh, 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 damn.
2,000 years
We're
later.
back, guys.
My fault. Commercial break.
Commercial break.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I just decided I couldn't. I don't think I could accomplish winning the belt at 87, 187. So 77 kilos. And it was funny as I was walking around about maybe a little heavier than I'm walking around right now, which is about 179 to 181. And but I know when I train, normally I gain a couple pounds. I don't really gain weight when I quit working out. But
You must be ripped right now, huh? Got that 12 pack on or what?
oh yeah, yes sir. I look like I was carved from Zeus's tooth right now.
Nice. You
Where
need
do
Yeah.
you go?
come out to the beach and hang out.
Where do you
Yeah,
feel
probably not.
strongest, Justin? What weight? Would you say you feel you're strongest?
I mean, I always said 76 was my class. Because I could cut 5, 6, 7 pounds easy. I've been better at 65 before, but you know, it's a lot of weight to cut, and I gotta watch what I eat all the time and stuff like that. I just I don't like doing that. My fault. I had to cut my truck off again. Um, but this 77, I mean, I got down where I can make 65 pretty easy. I used to make 65 and walk around at 85, 86. So it's not, it's not that I can't do it. I don't want to do it.
Yeah,
Um,
176 perfect for you, man. I mean, you're
yeah,
a beast. You're a beast at any weight. You know what I mean? At 176, though, your odds increase a lot.
yeah, I think so. And
Well, you
I was
definitely.
prepared to do the 65.
I feel at
Because
176, Justin, you're able to put on muscle on your thoracic spine, building all those back muscles, building your shoulders a little more, building that bicep, which is going to give you the power you really need against somebody. When you're in those lower weight categories, you're really relying on tendon strength a little more than muscle strength. So it gives you a better advantage, personally, from my perspective, to approach it with a little more muscle on you, which
oh, for sure. And I've gotten really good at cutting weight over the years, so it's not something that's a lot of guys miss it on the rehydration, which is more important, I would say, than cutting the weight.
100%.
Obviously, if you don't make the weight, you don't compete, but the rehydration is key in my opinion. Everybody, like I've watched uh, Devin and Matt Mask go right to a buffet right after cutting weight, which leads me to believe they didn't cut nearly as much as I did, or they just didn't know, really exactly what to do. But I'm like, I don't eat for like 2 hours. I don't do anything but liquids, and anything over, I think it's like 32 or 36 ounces, your body is not going to absorb at that an hour. So, like, if you're drinking a gallon an hour, you'll start pissing. And that's, you're not retaining water if you're pissing. So,
Right, those are
you know,
good
it's,
points, man. I've never thought about that.
yeah, I've done a lot of study on that. A lot of fighters is where I went to for that. I used to use the same cut plan as GSP, and just tweaked it. Like, he would pyramid his water load from like 2 gallons to 1.5 to 1.5. Like, I've tried that and it works, but I also tried 1.5 gallons all the way up to 24 hours out, and it worked better, and I was able to stay hydrated longer. Um, but yeah, it's small stuff, and
Well,
everybody's a little bit different. Like, I hate saunas. I like sweatsuits. I don't like saunas, but most guys use saunas.
with your match against Tom's, analyzing it, where do you think things went wrong for you?
It was, for me, it was in the training, and a little bit of doubt there. Um, I didn't train setting a hook. I trained my hook pretty well, but I didn't train getting there enough. And I was surprised I was that much stronger than him in a hook, because we actually pulled afterwards as well. And it he couldn't beat me in a hook anywhere. Which, to be fair, I couldn't beat him in a top row anywhere either. So, which surprised the piss out of me. Um,
No,
but
were you loading with him in these setups, or was it a no load setup?
no, no. Anytime the guy's his cupping ability is better, you don't want to load. That's
Yeah, it
stupid,
looked like you were
you
letting up
know,
on your load, and you
because
were pretty
you're just
much.
gonna go.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to time him, because I can automatically tell his containment's too much for my top rope. But as soon as we went here, I didn't feel threatened anymore, because it's so I went to trying. I wish I would have went back to the top roll at least one more time, because after I felt him arm to arm, I was like, I can win from here, So let me get here. But if I had it to do over, I'd have tried to top roll him again, maybe with a full hand, because I attempted it with a low hand. Uh, but
That sucks. He elbow fouled as well right there.
Yeah, there were two bumps
oh
on
yeah,
Tom's side, and there was one bump on your side, and it should have either been a no contest depending on the timing of those.
It should have been a pen,
yeah,
is what it should have been. Because
yeah.
both
I
of them
thought he
were
was low enough.
tiny little elbow fouls, and they called Justin instead of the other guy.
Yeah, it's tough being a ref, man. And I don't like to speak on any specific refs or anything, but you'll notice I had the same refs in both of my matches. So, but I don't. I try not to. I know how hard it is to ref. You know,
Yeah, that
I
was
think when you're
definitely
that
losing
low,
position. That was losing position. It should have been match. In my opinion, as a ref, I'm a master ref.
yeah,
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 As
I
the
agree
best ref as
100% with
well. He
that.
was pretty well buried past the 45%.
Yeah,
And
that was a bailout for him.
yeah,
I mean, not that the refs were
oh
trying to
no,
bail him out, but definitely was a bailout.
yeah, he definitely fouled on purpose. Which, I'll get my professional fouls. Honestly, I can't remember the last time I fouled that I didn't do it on purpose. You know,
Yeah,
so it's the rules. If you give me running fouls, I won't foul. But
yeah,
if you're gonna give me a foul,
yeah, the
I'm gonna use
opportunity.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the options are there. If you're allowed to slip, you can slip. If you're allowed to professional elbow foul, as they call it. You can use that at any point.
No,
And I'll say too. Go
considering
ahead.
that, Justin, do you think that the running fouls would have been more effective for you in this particular match versus the strict rules? I mean, obviously in that first match,
No.
you would have just buried him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I favor the two foul rule more. I don't really like the running fouls that much, but I can adjust to them. I think the running fouls tend to lean towards your more endurance pullers, which obviously I've never been that guy. But yeah, I'll say as of late, my endurance is better than it's ever been. So I'm not really going into it concerned. I'll likely be much more patient than I normally am. Um, but yeah, I don't think like I'll say this too with Tom's. I'm not gonna say he wouldn't have won. I think I'd at least got another pin on him. Um, had he not had the corner he had, you know, he's got the Jedi in his corner. I was watching him because I normally I don't even listen to my corner, or if they're telling me something, it's very short, but my eyes are on the other guy because I could see motions and all of this, you know. So I
Right.
knew he was going low hand in the second setup, and that's when I should have went high hand, just busted his hand back. And I was like, no, I got enough. You know, I'll get him back on his arm. I'm good, blah, you know. But he's very coachable, man. He listens. You know, he's a student of the game, which, you know, it's surprising to me because I've coached a lot of guys and they just, very few of them are coachable.
Yeah, it
Fall
doesn't
back into
click.
Especially,
A lot of guys that
yeah,
don't click with them, you know.
or they fall back into old habits immediately.
yeah,
They essentially feel that they know better, they know themselves better than the coach does.
How old is
especially
Thomas?
uh, late 20s, maybe. I
He
don't know.
looks pretty young.
Yeah, I'm not sure to be honest. He eats some weird stuff. I'm gonna tell you that. That dude ate like I don't know 8 or 9 boiled eggs with just packs of mayo on top of it. Just
Yes.
I'm like, yeah, yeah. I was
And
like, I
then
don't even like mayonnaise, so
Hunter's been kind of making some storms lately as well, and you recently pulled him. I know that you train with him sometimes as well.
no, I've never trained with Hunter.
Oh, you've never trained with him. Oh, okay. I thought because you guys are
No,
both around the East Coast that you guys would be pulling together. But
no. Well, I've kind of been inactive the uh last couple years or whatever, and he's been kind of on the rise, and he has good coaches. Probably, you know, as far as technical wise, one of the better coaches in Chad Silver. So,
how do you
uh,
think Doug will hold up against him? You you have pulled with Doug, right?
Yeah, he
yeah,
pulls
we
that all the time.
Exactly. So how do you think Doug will, because obviously you pulled both of them. Do you think Doug has a chance if they go inside?
I think Doug's gonna smoke him if it stops at all. I'll just be
I
honest
share
with
that
you.
opinion. I share that opinion.
You
Um,
know, I mean, if you know, Doug's not known for his quickness, but you know, quickness is not always sideways. You know, I tried to explain this to I can't remember the kid's name, Cody. One time, he seemed like he got a little butt hurt because I was telling him, you know, he was basically saying that explosiveness, or I think that's the word we were using. So he was saying somebody's not very explosive, and you know, all I said was explosiveness doesn't mean you're just going sideways. You know, that's just what people see it as. You know, oh, he's got an explosive hit. Well, I can have an explosive hit right to position. Giannis is one of the faster explosive pullers out there. He almost, you know, I won't say he never goes sideways, but he does what a guy he knows he's got to flip his pronator over. You know, he goes sideways. This direction is super explosive on him.
you see the same
But
thing with Mindaugas as well, where he just essentially gets into this
yeah,
position and he's in a really good position to control.
I think the small difference there is Mindy will load with you, where Giannis is less likely to load with you. And to me, the guy trying to load with you is a bit scared of getting out of position because of the speed. If you see me doing that, that's why I'm doing it. you know,
Yeah.
I mean, if I feel like I'm stronger than you, I'll sit here and load with you.
Yeah, for me, it's different. So I don't load. I don't like a no load because I'm more afraid of that impact of getting injured, like all of a sudden trying to stop you and you just so explosive, just blow through me. That's my fear. It's not so much that, like I feel like the guy's trying to get an advantage by, by no loading me. Obviously, he's doing it for quickness, like Corey Miller's famous for that, right?
Well,
Yeah,
I've looked at it a little different. I kind of look at loading is based on circumstance. So if you feel stronger, like Justin's saying, you load the direction you're going to go because you just feel that power advantage in the setup. If you feel that there isn't that advantage, you may stack with side pressure and pop out the back, or you might start with back pressure and then snap it side, use a diversion setup to essentially set up your attack. And then if you
exactly.
feel like there's just nothing there for you, you might start with no pressure. So then that way you're able to just attack and essentially surprise your opponent and put them in a compromised position.
Yeah, disguise what you're doing.
So
You don't
depending on the
want
setup, and
you don't want to give too much.
with a super match, I mean, if you're stronger than the guy right off the bat, you might just want to load, take control, bend the wrist backwards, hold it as long as the guy is willing to fucking fatigue himself and let him put his own hand down.
That's it. I think I do that all the time. I love a guy to get up there and grab the piss out of my hand. I'll just, give him just a little bit, won't even squeeze, wear it out a little bit, go get some chalk, come back, I don't even use chalk, but I think that's the biggest difference in this match with me and Janis is, um, you know, first time he pulled me, I was about 2.5 years in. The second time,
The first time was the UAL match that you guys pulled?
hmm
Yeah,
Yep, he shocked the world on that one, boy.
let's look at that match.
yeah, I've never seen somebody shock the world and take second place. you know, but I stand on what I said then. I seen his hand hit the pad. I don't know what the hell Harold seen, but I seen it. So, but nonetheless, the point I was getting at was, I know all these things now.
He called him. Yeah, he almost
Yeah,
called.
look at him. Look at him. He called it, bro.
Well, I've been in that same spot with him where I pinned the guy and he didn't call it. I was like, what the hell, dude? Everybody
Yeah,
else saw it.
yeah. I don't get it. Yeah,
That's crazy, dude.
You see the hand go up.
Yeah.
yeah.
The hand goes up, but Giannis is similar to Devin, where he's really good at communicating at the right time to the ref to
He's
make
still
them a
pulling.
little confused about their call, so they allow the match to keep going. He drops back down.
Yeah,
His
watch
hand's
watch
still
his
up.
elbow. You see his elbow come off the front to set the hook too. Nobody's seen that.
Let's see here.
But
Yep, right there.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yep, right there.
100%. Yeah. I don't know.
yeah, that's why I said it's two. It's not one, it's two. But whatever. It doesn't matter. He's got the winning record, even if you give me two. So,
Yeah, I
see,
would
he
call
tried to
that
go sideways there to turn
Yeah.
my pronator over. I
Who's
was
the
too
down
quick.
ref there?
Bart Wood.
Uh,
Bart
Yeah.
Wood and Harold in that match as the refs.
There's very, very few people I think are fantastic referees. Like I can count them on half a hand. You know what I mean? So, and like I said, I don't ever say anybody's name because there's that professional elbow. But I don't ever say anybody's name because I know how hard it is to ref. I've ref Alabama State almost every year. I hate it, but I do it as my way of you
Giving
know
back.
giving. Yeah. But you're a loser every time. It doesn't matter. You know, somebody's gonna be angry.
Oh,
Oh, you
Raleigh
missed
comes
this.
home with a complaint.
Yeah. So
well, that's
yeah,
what the
Couple cameras help with.
yeah, that's the thing about that. That's the only thing that's gonna fix that because nobody's perfect. Nobody can see everything. And sometimes it's so fast that you can't make the call. And Yeah, cameras would make all the difference. Every sport's got cameras except for, I mean, we, seldomly do, but we do have them every once in a while. Just needs to be
Yeah,
incorporated more.
when they pulled at WAL, I mean they had cameras. There was definitely cameras at the corners of the table here. I don't think they had a ref analyzing the camera footage. I think they were using it more for cinematography reasons. But I mean, there were
Yeah,
definitely elbow cameras in this, and it's interesting because you see that like just immediate control off the top with Giannis, right? He snaps inside, you snap out back, and he's like
yeah. I
you,
felt good. I felt so
yeah,
confident right here, though. I was like, today is not your day. Today is my day. And yeah, it just never worked out that way.
yeah,
Yeah,
Giannis is definitely very intelligent, but I mean,
watch here. See, we're off center too. That's something I don't like. See, I tried to go sideways with him here. I don't know why, if I'm not mistaken, if this is the same match. Yeah. No, and he got a little bit better hit. See, I should have climbed. I should have sat back here instead of keep going sideways. But I actually am really strong right there too, in kind of a Todd Hutchins style. I mean, I've pinned people like Storm Shalino like that. So, I felt good about it. I'm like, all right, no,
Yeah, well, those pads give you so much more area to work with. It's crazy. Like you had all that pad to drag. Obviously, you're not in that type of position being your wrist cocked backwards, but
yeah, you shouldn't have held on for as long as you did, in my opinion. Even though you were kind of in a blocking position, you were fatiguing yourself more than you needed to once you had that much
oh,
more.
there's no doubt. Yeah, there's no doubt.
And if he does the same thing in the first match, you got to be capable of letting that first match go. Don't let yourself
Oh
get
yeah,
stuck in a position where you're waiting and locking in like that, because that's just gonna fuck you in the whole super match.
yeah. I mean, I ran into that with Mindy. I got pretty smart about not wasting my energy. Um, I want to say I had a foul here, but I'm not sure. I can't remember. Um,
Let's see. You're right here.
yeah, see right there.
Right there, you're in a
It says
good position. You're in a really good
yeah,
position, but you should be pulling up with the
climbing.
index finger, letting that hand get a little bit higher on him. Definitely
Yeah.
getting higher. And if you can gain that height right off the bat, you should be able to break his wrist back enough where you can gain enough control to sustain him.
yeah, a lat drag right there and keeping that same position would have opened him right up too. If it was possible for you to do that, if you had the power, it doesn't always feel like you can, but you had all that
Yep.
pad.
I started trying to lat there,
Yeah,
and
you were committing a lot sideways, and then he's able to kind of regain the hand a little bit, and it puts you a little bit back. And you see you trying you did see you were starting to try and drag that elbow back as you were going sideways. The wrist was starting to break back a little bit, and he started to kind of change the dynamic of the match, which is something that, again, the guy is very intelligent. We got to give him that much, for his
Oh, no
mhm.
doubt about
his,
it.
his
He's one
the
of the
way that
smartest, one of the smartest arm wrestlers out there, without a doubt. So is
I
Justin.
didn't know. Well, I didn't know he was a three-time reigning WAF champion when I first beat him. He told me he hadn't been pinned in 3 years prior to that.
Wow,
I didn't know that till the other day.
it's a huge
I was like, what?
accomplishment.
It's like, well, that made me feel a little better about the one time, but you
I think
know,
you should have.
and
That UAL match, in my opinion, is a win. I mean, that's pretty obvious when you go back and you see
yeah,
the footage. It's a pretty obvious win. There was what should have been a pin. There was an intentional elbow foul to regain control in the match. So I mean, technically elbow foul in a losing position, win,
yeah,
and
I just sound
potentially.
like a crybaby when I say it. So
No, I mean, again, when we review the footage, I think if Giannis was here and he was
yeah,
honest with himself, he probably would be like, "Hey, in the moment, I wanted to win. Looking back on it, that should have been your day." I mean,
yeah. But it is it we're still here. It lines up for a storyline on down the road. Like I feel like every time we have met, I had the stronger arm and the stronger hand out of the gate, and still managed to lose. So I think what I was lacking was the actual table knowledge, and you know, not that I didn't have any there, but I think last time we pulled, I was in year 5. I'm in, what is it, 2024? Yeah, I'm in now in my 14th year. So, almost a decade later, like I said, we hadn't pulled in 8 years. Pretty close to that. I think 2016, yeah, somewhere in 2016.
Now I remember when you pulled
But
Storm Chilino at the was the UAL Venetian, and like you said, you'd beaten them a little bit different. Like you kind of put a little bit different plan together, and you were able to outmaneuver him, which was pretty
uh, my
impressive.
my brother pulled him in the UAL 8 tournament that I won,
Yeah.
and Josh is really good at no loading and just banging you right in a hook, and he beat him pretty easy. And we obviously we train all the time, so especially then. So I'm like, my cupping ability is better than his, so I'm just gonna cup him in, hook him, and pin him, which worked the first time. He actually got me to about right here, and then it sunk, and I knew from watching footage he would overextend, so I just kind of curled it in, and then when I seen him overextend, pinned him. Second match, I think he got me before the straps, which is crazy. This is how I knew his hand was strong, because I can slip if I want to slip. You know what I mean? Like he's one of maybe 2 people that I just could not slip with if if I wasn't fast enough. But he ended up pinning me. We go up here and my wrist buckles and he ends up pinning me. And then second match, I stopped him like a half inch. It was almost like the Thomas match, except my wrist was back a little. And like I said, he overextends again, and I just start dragging him back like Todd Hudson style, which a lot of people don't see. There's a lot of hand in what Todd's doing. There's a lot of finger pressure
Oh yeah,
and lat and riser for that man. A lot of people
definitely.
don't see that, but
Yeah, for anybody to be in that position,
that
you definitely have to be engaged in a lot of other spots on your body to be able to maintain that power behind your arm like that. It's nuts how he
what
does
like
that.
to me that's not a flop wrist press for me. It's definitely your wrist gone, and it's obviously not a press, but it's your hand is still there, like your containment. That's why he can beat people like that out of the strap, because and your hand's actually the strongest when it's bent back, like your fingers. Great, all you gotta do is grab a gripper. You want to grab the biggest one you have and squeeze it. Your hand's gonna do this. Curl your hand in and do it, and you can't do half as much. Um, you actually train some therapy stuff. I got a little light. There it is, a little light one, and I'll cut my hand in and do it cupped. Just to get that. But you're always going to be stronger with your containment that way.
Yeah, we're actually just talking about that. Who was saying that, Reza, that they turn their wrist in and they do their hand grippers like this with their hand bent, which I find extraordinarily hard to do and hurts. And my brother,
Yeah,
he used to preach doing that, and I'd be just like, I can't do that. It hurts too much,
Yeah, I don't like working with the gripper.
I feel like it is.
I'm more just slightly positive
Yeah,
with the gripper. And then as Justin was saying, like if I want to close the heaviest gripper, it's actually going to be about right there is where you have the maximum strength out of your hand for
yeah,
gripping. And but I actually do it a little different. I'll do a reverse because for the top roll that I use, I typically rely a lot on that index finger to control and contain their index
yeah.
knuckle. And I'm really fighting their containment with my index knuckle, trying to break their index finger as I get over their hand. So I'll do it reverse, and then I'll just go from here. I'll use the second hand to assist the close, and then I hold through here without the thumb. So it's just the fingers doing it with the wider side going into my index to really force my index to work a lot more. And that's something that Alan showed me back in the day. And we would typically do that with a band, put the heavy power band in your hand, load back pressure, put that gripper in there, and then just real tight movements and then work a pin.
I do a lot of this, man. I'll squeeze them both directions, but I'll squeeze them, and I do like just.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised at how much that works your tendon and gets that blood in there.
Yeah, it's
You
hard
know,
to keep
'cause
your hand closed. I pretty much retired my grippers. I use a donut. I don't know if you can see that if it's disappearing.
Yeah,
And you can pretty much, just use 3 fingers, 3 bottom fingers, 2 bottom fingers, and it doesn't hurt your hand at all. And you can pretty much go anywhere with it. I pretty much got one in every car. So if I'm in traffic, I just grab that thing. I don't even think about it. I'm listening to music and I'm squeezing this thing.
yeah,
Next day, my hand's sore.
That's how I am with the
yeah.
150.
I wonder what the cops say when they pull you over.
Well, yeah, it does have a multi-purpose. This one's
Yeah, yeah.
much my favorite one. She likes it, so
Right, right.
so I'm hoping to make it to Orlando, dude. I'm 80% in. Not 100%, but I'm really looking forward to hanging out and seeing you, bro. It'll be some good times.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be a good time, man. I'm looking forward. I need a couple days off, man. It's so hot out here right now.
What
It's
is it?
so hot.
What's the temperature?
In my truck right now it's like 95,
Damn.
but
High
that's
humidity,
like 90.
heat index that goes
Yeah,
up.
that's like 95, 98% humidity. So the heat index is like probably like 107, something stupid
Jesus,
like
bro.
that. But it ain't really the heat. I'm used to the heat. I've been building a lot of decks, and as you know, none of that treated lumber is light. Concrete's not light, and trying to do that and train like I want to train is always been a task for me, but more so now with 3 kids and other obligations, and so I had to really swap my training up for this. Um, so I only go to the gym about 3 days a week, and everything else I do at home. And one of those days is actually practice on Sundays. So
Have
I
you
do
been
all
have
my
you been
arm wrestling
preparing
stuff is at home.
for a no load setup? Because it's very possible that Janis is going to no load and you're not going to be able to start with the pressure that you typically would.
Yeah, but without giving too much,
Of course.
they it's gonna go to a strap. He's gonna want a strap. He's gonna need a strap, and I'm fine with that. But there's ways of manipulating the strap where there's pressure no matter what you do.
Of course.
You know, so I don't think that's. I mean, I think his biggest weapon in this match is gonna be his speed. It's gonna be to get out the back door and go here. He don't want to come here. I welcome if he wants to go there. Um, I think out the gate he's gonna do the same thing he's always done with me. I probably watched 2 hours of his matches the other day, and the thing that stuck out the most was he does one or two things almost always. I mean, he'll adjust after the first couple matches if he's in a bad spot, but his money move is high to the back right there, and if he feels like you're threatening him up here, he's high to the side, you know, and
When we get off cameras,
I
I have some opinion for you on that particular circumstance, which I think you will
right on.
really like and may favor you. There's definitely ways of
Well, I hope
countering
so.
that approach. There's definitely ways of countering that approach.
Yeah,
Hey, Justin, I don't know if
like
you.
the first time he
Okay. Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say the first 2 times, like the matches you showed, the first two at UAL, I did the same thing, and he tried two different things. The first time he tried to go up slightly side. The second time he went more side, while staying, he never goes just side. It's always back too. But the initial hit would be right here or right here. And he tried both of those. I think other than my post being better, my speed also to match his to position was just as good. Where, if I'm being honest, it hasn't been that great in the past couple of years. I don't really know why, but maybe it's old age. I don't know. But I've been doing a lot
More
of
than
speed
likely,
drills.
you've gotten better technically, so you're compromising with the speed versus being a little more aggressive off the go and not compromising with your opponent. Because as we get better technically and a little more stronger, we tend to say, "Ah, fuck it, I don't need that explosive hit because I already feel good." But you
Right.
don't want to compromise that. Go before Guh, like Alan likes to say. Alan Fisher, he's
Mm,
always, doing this shit, but
yeah.
he's remained fairly explosive over the years, and his mantra is move on Guh, not on O,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
I like to go on the rough.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, because
I
what
was
is
gonna
that?
bring up, because you brought up, the lumber. Obviously, you do carpentry for a living. You're a carpenter. You can pretty much build anything. And it has, obviously it works our hands constantly, just using the hand tools. The skill saw being, one of the most powerful tools we use, and it's got some weight to it. And then also the nail guns as well. It's just constant work on your hands and your fingertips. So it's like, to be able to take a break from that obviously is not that easy. It's not like, oh, I'm going to take a week off work
It's
before my
funny.
big match.
Right.
It's
You
funny you
can't
say
do
that,
it.
Scott,
So you got to
because
work that fatigue and figure out a balance of, what am I going to do the last couple of days before I go to this event?
it's
So it's
funny
kind
you
of,
Yeah. I
say
try
that.
to organize it.
yeah.
I
You know,
try to I try to organize it that way, but it's it's always tough. I'm gonna be driving in Wednesday. I'm not sure what time yet, so they give me at least 3 solid days.
That's good.
So
are you working with like an old school? Because I worked with like a solid steel skill saw, and those things are fucking heavy as fuck. They gotta be, 20 pounds on the hand outside
yeah, I
covered
don't even.
position, and then they have the battery
They
powered ones. They're a little more forgiving.
I use a worm drive. If I'm not mistaken, it's actually a left-handed saw.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the one where the handle's behind the blade.
Right.
Yeah, I can't use the ones with the handle on the top. I mean, I can, but I'm accustomed to the ones that stick out the front.
Yeah, no, those are
Worm drive.
super awkward, man. I hate those saws. You're up here, it's like not comfortable. But if it's a left-handed saw, that's not comfortable for me either, because it's just not, because I'm still trying to use it right-handed. You know what I mean? It doesn't
Yeah.
harder to
Well,
harder to
like a
use.
regular worm drive, if I'm not mistaken, because I had an argument with an old guy years ago about this, because he told me that worm drive saws are made for left-handed people. I don't know
Yeah,
how true that is,
I don't
because you're
think so.
supposed to be on no, you're supposed to be on the opposite side of the blade, which would put it in your left hand. You know,
Right,
but
true,
I'm
but
like,
you can't see it. You want it, I mean, for
exactly.
me, it makes more
On a
sense. I want to
visual,
be able
right?
to look down,
Yeah.
see, I don't want to look over the saw and try to, you know what I mean? And
Well,
that's
you're
what
supposed to
happens with
use
the
the
lefty.
guide, Scott.
Huh?
You're supposed to use the guide.
Yeah,
You're not
exactly.
supposed to look. Yeah, I look at the blade. I don't ever look at the guide.
Yeah,
You know.
same.
So it's funny because I just posted a picture the other day that looked like a bruised thumb or a bruised finger, when indeed it was, I got hit in the pelvis using the table saw with somebody else holding the other end on a
That's the
cross cut,
feedback.
a 10-foot piece.
Yeah.
And right at the end of the cut,
Shot back.
he lifted it up. If it bind it, shot back and hit me right in the pelvis, bro, and like caused instant swelling. And then 2 days later, my penis, my cock is black and blue, like
Oh
gnarly
man.
at the base. Yeah, it was
Oh,
pretty bad.
my
I
my.
posted the picture up, without putting everything in there. And a lot of
Yeah.
people were like, "What the hell are you doing? Are you crazy?" And then other people are like, "That's either a pretty bruised thumb, or you got kicked in the dick pretty hard, you know. And I'm like, ah, you
Yeah.
nailed it.
My son dropped a toilet lid on his pecker one time. My wife was so concerned, because I mean, it was black. It was pretty nasty. After about 2 days, I was getting concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was. I felt so bad for him.
Yeah, I'm actually on workman's comp right now. I'm still being treated. I got like the swelling went down. It's been about a month, and I still got like this lump right there in my, in my pubic region. And
Oh, it's that serious?
yeah,
That's
dude.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, people have died from that, you know. Shit will
No,
literally
I didn't.
stab you, you know.
Yeah, that's
No
why
joke.
Oh, from saws.
I always
Yeah,
stand to the side when I cut. I'm like this.
yeah.
Yeah, you can't always
The,
do that though.
the blade I use, we put a shim in the safety. So, because I pull the safety back, put a shim in it, and I don't even use the safety anymore. Fuck a
You're
safety.
talking about a skill saw again, but that's you know what I mean. If you forget, like a lot of guys do that, they forget that safety up, they cut right through their feet, through their leg, dude, right through their
Yeah. Hey, I had one because when we do a lot of framing and especially concrete, you're cutting stakes all the time. It's harder to cut a stake
oh yeah.
with the guard on. We'd wedge it up, and I go over there, cut a stake, and
Put
I
it
don't
down
I
side
don't
right.
know. Trying, yeah, I'm trying to remember how I did it, but anyway, I come down with the saw, and it caught my pants
Ooh.
right by my nuts. And luckily, it was already dying down. I
Um,
didn't have my finger on the trigger, and it just, I had
thank
to go.
God.
I had to walk. Yeah, I had to walk that off.
Oh yeah,
Let my.
dude.
Yeah,
That would be, yeah, that would shoot my nerves through the roof. I'd be shaky after that.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
It
a
was-
fan
It
of
was
wood
not pleasant.
blades. I like tile blades because you can tap your
Yeah,
finger to it
just
and it doesn't do shit to you.
just burns you a little.
Yeah, yeah. Tile blades are a little more forgiving. Even concrete blades, they're
I,
fucking nasty, bro.
I cut this thumb basically off with a table saw. I got a scar. I don't know if you can see it from it missed the bone by like he said some very small measurement in centimeters or something. But it's the only thing that was holding it on was my thumbnail.
Yeah, it's crazy,
And it
right?
was crazy. I just bought it, and we're sending little three quarter pieces through, and we done sent 4 or 5. It was the last one, and I don't know why I didn't grab my stick. I just I don't know, stupid. It's the only time I've ever cut myself with a saw. But I remember I did like this, and I flicked it off real quick, and I go like that, and it just basically comes here. And I'm like, oh,
Not
I
good.
looked at yeah, I looked at my guy. I'm like, well, she's sharp, buddy, and he looks like he's about to pass out, and the pain really hadn't hit me yet. And I told him I was like, grab me a rag. I'm going to the truck, and I drove myself to the hospital. But yeah,
Hey,
it
it's
was so
crazy.
chewed
It's
up,
crazy.
man.
Yeah, your thumbnail, the nail on your fingers is so, to me, it's just amazing because it's so hard. So I did the same thing. I cut straight across my thumbnail. I was cutting a piece of 2x12 for a bulkhead for the end of a concrete wall. I'm notching out for the rebar. I got one notched out. I'm doing the second one. I'm notching. It binds. It pulled my finger underneath. I cut right through my top of my nail, through my palm, and then across the other part of my palm. And dude,
Mm.
it bounced off my nail. Otherwise, I would have cut my thumb off, the tip of my thumb off. But the blade bounced off the nail and then just cut through my hand. And it was amazing, dude. That I didn't lose my thumb, man.
Crazy question,
Yeah,
Justin.
that's wild.
Do you feel that the work that you've done, that probably I've done and Scott have done over the years, doing contracting work essentially, has complemented your hand strength over the years?
No, there's no doubt. I mean, I think I was training for arm wrestling way before I even started arm wrestling. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that was one reason why I was where I was at so early, you know, because I mean, like Scott pointed out, one of y'all, using that skill saw all day. You know, like I was just telling Reza before we got on, I was swinging a hammer, knocking a bunch of stuff off a pole, trying to like make a big notch in the pole where you can't get any saws to. So I'm just 30 minutes just knocking the piss out of this pole with a chisel, you know, like old school. Like that's something I appreciate too, is how far we've come with building equipment and things like that. Can you imagine building a house in the 20s? You know,
Oh yeah.
Chiseling and Lego and everything together.
Those are some real
basic.
craftsmen back then, dude. That's, I mean, not
Yeah.
that, but we got specialty tools just about for everything
And
now. I mean, pretty cool.
yeah,
But hey, I got to
yeah,
compliment you on that really good looking hat you've been sporting this whole time.
like that.
Yeah, I like that a lot, dude. Very cool.
Well, just for you, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm getting hit with a monsoon right now, guys. Like really crazy fucking rain and hell right now. I don't
Well, you
want
can
I
see
can't
it's
hear.
not raining here.
to. I'm like,
It's sprinkling here. Give me a look.
I can't show it, but yeah, or I might lose signal here, guys. So on that note, Justin, really good interview with you, bro. I look forward to watching your match, and till next time, guys.
All right,
Good.
brother. Enjoyed it.
Right on, Jess. Good seeing you. Well, hopefully we'll see you in a couple of weeks, man.
No doubt, brother. Hope you get to make it.
Yep.